How's your guys' day? How's your guys' day going? Good, I hope. This literally popped into my head first thing this morning. And this is how I know. This is how I know the work that I've been putting in, the dedication I've given, just reminding myself who I am, who I've always been. Regardless of the pain and the mental anguish, right? That literally being someone that shows up for life, being the bold one, being the audacious one, being the savage, reminding myself that the way people are going to react to me, right? Hold on. The way people are going to react to me should be expected. I'm doing something on a level that's never been done. And it's hard to explain it to you because unless you've undertaken something that the world tells you is impossible and you conquer it anyway, you're never going to understand what that gives you. It's not ego. It's not, well, it's a little brash, let's be honest. Being audacious is a little bit of everything. But like I said, it's hard to explain. It's not ego because it's not something you've built up in your mind. It's something that you can look back to and point to and say, I did that. You didn't do that. I did that. You didn't set that bar. I did. You didn't set yourself as an example for other people. I did. You didn't become an inspiration for people like you. I did. I exist on a level that's never happened before. Never. It's not ego. It's literal, actual confidence on the most extreme level. Because even though the world throws everything at you, when you dare to be great, why wouldn't you think that you couldn't be great at everything? Look at the hard work I had to put into that. All I need to do is be patient and put in the hard work on anything, and it will be successful. I've told you this once. I told you this at the very beginning, and I don't even know if it was on one of my first lives or if it was on one of the first videos that I put out since coming back to do this for my road out of hell, we'll say. I told you I am methodical. I'm so far ahead of the curve, I have to die for the rest of you to catch up. I knew that by doing this, it would trigger my mind to snap back into my former self. I knew I could recover everything I lost in my life as long as I could get back to being who I really am. Because life has shown me, because I've shown myself. I can do things others can't because I'm willing to work for it. I'm willing to bleed for it. I'm willing to break for it. I'm willing to... for it. You know we can't say shit like that on here, so... It's a different level of understanding. It's a different level of being. When you're told you're never going to walk, you're never going to crawl, and to sit there and cry, and keep in mind, this is before I was 2. To sit there with that thought in your mind and say, no, I'm more than this. I deserve more than this. I deserve to live a normal life. I deserve to experience everything that this life has to offer. I choose to embrace it. I'm willing for it. I'm willing to break this body just so I can live like the rest of you. That is not ego. That is a different level of confidence. That is a different level of understanding. That is a different level of determination, of discipline, of being willing to mold yourself. Be restrictive over here, maybe not go out as much because it hurts the damn body, and you need to reserve strength for you to be able to go to work. Even if it's a store manager remedial job like your middle management, it doesn't really mean much. You all take for granted these things in your life. You take for granted being able to walk. You take for granted being able to go out and do anything. You take for granted the ability you have to work and provide for yourself. You should always aspire for more, but always be present, always be humble, always be graceful. Always embrace the beauty of where you came from and what you've learned and what it's made you into, and knowing that that can make you into more. Never give yourself the opportunity to fail. It does not matter what the world says. I didn't fail, I stumbled. I learned. If you learn something from the experience, you don't fail. You grow. You get better. As long as you stack that every goddamn day, you learn your routine. You learn your rituals. You learn how to navigate this life, because the universe flows, and it flows differently for me than it does for you, and it flows differently for you than the next guy. But you have to learn your flow. You have to learn how the world works for you. And that means stripping away everything, all the bullshit that they've taught you. You have to show up here. You have to sacrifice for this. You can't be selfish. You have to love her more than you love yourself. Fuck that shit. If you don't love yourself, you can't love anybody else. If you don't respect yourself, you don't respect anybody else. If you don't protect yourself, you can't protect anybody else. It doesn't matter how strong you are. What matters is the determination and willpower and discipline to get it done. What it takes is that split-second gut feeling and just acting on it. Don't think. Trust your gut. Your gut is never wrong. Your gut is God. If your body is the temple in which you worship, It ain't this. It ain't this. It's down here. Your gut tells you what's right. It's how I can be doing one thing and then automatically gut feeling, no, you're doing it wrong. Do it this way. And you make a hard right or a hard left, whichever way you need to go. And it works out. And they call you impulsive. And they call you brash. And he's too risky. Intuition is not risk. Intuition is you in alignment. You flowing the way you need to flow, the way your life tells you you need to flow. If you figure out who the hell you are, and then you set your goal, this is what I want for my life. Do not give yourself an out. Do not give yourself an avenue for failure. I do not give a fuck what anyone tells you. Be true to yourself. Be true to yourself. The world wants you to be somebody else. The guy wants the girl to be a certain way. The girl wants the guy to be a certain way. That's not the way the world flows. You are meant to be a sovereign being, but that means being accountable for yourself. That means showing up for yourself every day. If something's going on and somebody wants you to do something and your gut is just like, no, we're not doing that, because that's not what I need right now. Don't take it as a way to be narcissistic, because everything that I've learned in this life is everything used in moderation is not bad, as long as you use it as a tool to keep moving forward. You stay present, you stay accountable, you keep planning for the future and having something to shoot for, but always be present in the here and now. Be thankful and gracious for what you've been given in your life, because trust me, it could be a lot worse. I know from personal experience, it could be a lot worse. And do not ever follow somebody else. I told you, I'm calculated, I'm methodical. You think I'm being on here being an asshole for no reason? No, I want you not to like me. I want you to turn away. But I want you to learn and grow. I want you to pay attention. You need to always be learning. Always be aware of what's going on around you, whether you can feel it happening to you or not. History is predictable. Hard times make hard men. Hard men make soft times. Soft times make soft men. Soft men make hard times. I can definitely see where we're at in that process right now. Always be aware. Always be aware that no matter who you vote in there, you're the last one on the checklist. This game was rigged a long time ago, ladies and gentlemen. Always be aware. Always look out for you and yours. Whatever you deem that to be. Because regardless of what religion tells you, regardless of what anybody tells you, it's all bullshit. It's all controlled. And the flow of your life goes opposite of what they want you to believe. They want you to sit back. They want you to take the easy path. But let me tell you something. The universe does not reward the easy path. It might seem like it at the time, but the bill comes due. And it's always later in life. And that's always when you have problems rising up. That's always when you have things that go wrong. And that's when you want to give up. That's when you break. That's when you want to check out of here. Do not take the easy path if they offer it to you. The right thing for you to do and the hard thing to do is always the same thing. Making the right decision is never the best decision for you, because you cannot see 2 inches in front of your face. It's hard, but as long as you give yourself goals to reach, so you are always present, always putting in the work, and still having that goal in the long run to strive for, to march down that, to conquer your fucking life. Either you run life over or life runs you over. Either life has you by the balls or you have it by the balls. Which is it? If people actually held themselves accountable, you would be sickened by what you all allow. See, I love how George put this back in the day. People say that if you don't vote, you have no right to complain. But if I didn't vote, I didn't contribute to the mess that we're in. I didn't contribute to somebody taking advantage of me. I could just stay home and in my own house and have something to show for it at the end of the day. You need to free yourselves, and you need to realize the type of control that you've been born into. You've never been allowed to find out the truth for yourself. You're born into a family, and instantly you're Christian, you're Catholic, you're Islamic, you get it. You have no choice. You are told where to go and what to do your whole fucking life. And then you want to sit here in my comments and say that I need Jesus, when you don't even question your faith. You are religious. You are looking for a reward. You're being a good little sheep. You're not asking the hard questions. You're not walking the hard road to get the real fucking answers. Because if you actually fucking did, you would see that life, the flow, goes completely opposite to what they tell you. Everything is the same thing. It's just repackaged in another form for the next generation to move the bullshit forward. You're told to be this. It's the right way. If you believe that, you're fucked. If you love somebody of the same sex, you're fucked. If you love both sexes, you're fucked. If you think differently, you're fucked. It's because these things are what you actually need. And they are trying to control the narrative on how you live your life. Because if you realize the actual power you fucking control, you're unstoppable. And 99% that realize their power, you're going to overwhelm the 1% every fucking time. You guys are idiots. I don't want your subscriptions. I don't want your likes. I just want you to fucking listen to me. Beware of charismatic leaders, motherfuckers. Frank Herbert was a fucking genius. That's this whole approach. I don't want you to like me. I don't want you to submit and deify me. I want to set you free so you can stand side by side with me and realize what the fuck is wrong with this life? The shit that we were born into, that we had no control over, and the freedoms that they took away before we even realized we had those. Stop separating yourselves by gender. Stop separating yourselves by race. Stop separating yourselves by every fucking way possible. And realize that we have more in common than anybody fucking knows. Like, it's been said in every fucking religion on earth. Do you realize that? You are the universe choosing to have a human experience. You are God choosing to have a human experience. What I can do, every one of you can do. They just want to make you weak. They want to make you think you have no choice. You always have a choice. You just feel that this giant system is greater than you. No, it's not. That system is broken. You allow it to stay in place. The only reason anyone has authority over you is because you allow them to have authority over you. That's it. No more, no less. I don't want to lead any of you. I want you to lead yourselves. I want you to realize, anybody like Dune here? Anybody actually read the novels? If you've never read the novels, I'm going to kind of spoil something here for you. So, Leto II, right? He becomes God Emperor. He enslaves humanity for thousands and thousands and thousands of years until it's so bound up that they revolt against him. This is his golden path. He wanted humanity to kill him and run, never following a charismatic leader again. Absolute feral freedom, anarchy. It's the only way for human survival. It's the only way to tip the scales back in our favor. It's the only way to hold them accountable. It's the only way to keep it fair. I don't want to lead you. I want you to wake up and realize that the strength you have in yourself, the intelligence you have in yourself, that you are not bound by what the world tells you you're bound by. If I allowed them to do that, I'd still be in a wheelchair right now. Granted, I probably wouldn't be in as much pain, and I wouldn't be as tired as I am all the time. But they have never had control over me. They've never had... I bought into the system to know what it was like to belong to something and be loved by a woman. To have that feeling because I'd never had it before. Because it's a lonely road having to conquer life the way that I have. It's very lonely because it's a mentality. It's a lifestyle that is completely separate from everything that is acceptable. Because I have to understand restraint. Because I have to understand, like, I can't put myself into that or I won't be able to show up for that. That's maturity. I've been an adult since I was 2 years old. Because I understood how the world worked for me. I understood how the flow worked for me. And it sets me apart because I can't go out and play all the time. That's gonna fucking hurt. Like, guys, I can't go hang out and be stupid. Like, I got a wrestling match. Sorry. Like, I can't go out and party, guys. Like, I need my rest. I need my strength for tomorrow. I gotta work. Or it might be my day off, and we might be taking the kids somewhere. Do you understand? I know you can never understand this, but, like, do you understand the sacrifices that I've had to willingly make in order to just be a provider? I can't go out back and play with my kids like I want to. I couldn't wrestle with them. I couldn't throw them a fucking baseball. Because me doing one thing, 5 minutes later, I'm on the couch, like I can't move, I'm exhausted. So I have to sit there and I have to gather my strength and I have to gather my energy and I have to conserve and conserve and conserve. And then when I work, I can only eat once a day. Because as soon as I eat, my body relaxes and then it doesn't want to do anything the rest of the day. That is not my dedication. That is not my willpower. That is my body saying, you've already done too much. Fuck you, I need to recover. And then people want to talk shit. Oh, Dustin can't show it. You don't know what the fuck I've gone through in my life. You don't know what I've sacrificed just to be able to be a man and show up and earn a living and have a family. And then somewhere when I was a teenager, you told me I would be able to work above minimum wage job by barely and still afford to have a family. And by the time I was 25, what the fuck happened? Seriously, what the fuck happened? I learned very early on their promises are bullshit. They put things in when they get things passed and they get elected. They put things in to make sure they can come back and fuck you later. These are the people you trust. These are the people you allowed to lead you. And look where we're at. And you still trust them. When anybody who's lived through hard times, anybody is more mature than the people who are fucking leading us at the top. Because they're the rich kids. They're the rich ones, right? They never had to struggle a day in their fucking life. They don't know what real struggle is. And they want to tell you, they want to tell us how life really is. Bitch, I've lived life. And that ain't how it is. That's how they want it to be. And they want to use advertising. They want to use slogans. They want to use mantras. They want to do all these things to separate us. So we can never come together and realize they have fucked us all over the same way. If the king abuses you, but then says, here, take Dustin. You can abuse him the way I abuse you so you feel better about yourself. Are you going to perpetuate the cycle? Are you going to perpetuate the system? Or do you have the balls to break the fucking wheel? And say, no, him and I will just stand up together and fucking kill you. Oops, I said the K word. That is what they want to avoid. That is what they don't want you to understand. We used to live in a world where everyone was a sovereign being and we lived off a barter and trade system. It was a communal system. I bring this to the table, you bring that to the table, you bring this to... And at some point, we allowed them to take away our sovereignty. One freedom at a time. To at a point where it ain't going to be now, but at some point, France is going to happen again. And it's not just going to happen in America. It's going to happen all around the world, because what they're doing to us, they're doing in Russia. What they're doing in Russia, they're doing in Iran. They're doing in Iraq. They're doing in New Babylon. You know what I'm talking about. This is how it is. The golden path of freedom requires you to be independent. It requires you to be informed. It requires you not to buy into any of the bullshit that can allow you to separate yourself from seeing me as me and recognizing the pain that I've gone through like I recognize the pain that you go through. It means us all having to stand up together and crashing the system that created and perpetuates the cycle. It's the only thing. It's the only way to have true freedom. You are not really free. You just don't see your chains. The only difference is the black community has a genetic memory of physical slavery. The Israeli people have a genetic memory of slavery. The Irish people, the Scottish people have a genetic memory of slavery. Do not go quietly into that good night. Rage. Rage against the dying of the light. It is the only way forward. Or we just perpetuate the cycle, and at some point, Bill Gates gets what he wants. We stop producing and we die off. So as the world changes on its axis and the world starts getting hotter again, because now we are now in a warming period, we're no longer in a cooling period. You know, Dustin likes his science, he likes his facts, he likes what's provable, because he's provable. They want us gone. Not because we are destroying the environment. The environment is going to be there. It's going to change anyways. We're in a warming period. It's going to last for hundreds of thousands of years. And then we're going to go back into a cooling period. It's going to get so warm that we're going to have to live underground again, just like our old ancestors. That's the facts. The earth ain't going nowhere. The environment ain't going nowhere. The environment's going to be this for a little while longer, until it gets too warm for us to be on the surface. This is facts. They just want all the resources for themselves. They don't want to have to take care of you. They don't want to have to take care of me. They don't want to have to take care of anybody. Now, keep in mind, I'm not saying it's happening in our lifetime. I'm getting tired of people saying that we're living in the end times, we're in the apocalypse. Like, shut the fuck up and stop indoctrinating people. If you actually follow the cycles of the earth, you would know that we have roughly about 200 to 250 years, somewhere in that range, before another external catastrophe happens. Because we are in that 13 to 15,000 year window, but we're not at the sweet spot yet. We're not even going to see it. Our grandchildren probably won't see it. Maybe our great-grandchildren or great-great-grandchildren. But stop buying into the bullshit. Start asking the hard questions. Are you following religion because you're scared this is all you have? You're scared that this life is all you're given, and you're playing victim with how much you've been hurt. So you feel you need to have a reward to make this worth it. You're looking for a payout at the end of it. Oh, I have to suffer through this, but I'm immortal and we're good over here. Yeah, I like that. Religion is trying to sell you something so you take care of them and they don't have to do the work that you do. It's another way to control the world. Why do you think every cult since religion or since Christianity models themselves after Christianity? Think about it. Free yourselves. It's literally the only way. Stop looking at me like I'm someone who enslaved you. Neither of us were alive for that. It doesn't matter what people did in the past. It matters what you do right fucking now. Right now. And you have a plan to keep doing that forward. Are you looking to be a contributing member of life? Or are you just looking to take away from it? I would rather have a glorious death, knowing that I've lived my life fully, and I die, I welcome that black with a smile on my face because I knew I did everything I could. I embraced myself every way I could. Because without the sour, the sweet just ain't as sweet.